Hey everybody, Brad Talinsky here with Guitar World Magazine at the Great Winter NAMM Show in beautiful Anaheim. And we have with us as guests today James and Simon from Laney Amps, the legendary Laney Amps. But they're here to talk about something a little bit different today, which is their new line of effects pedals. And I don't know, they were just talking to me earlier about sort of an interesting story on how this whole division got started. So,
well, back in, what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah, in 2017.
That's right. Tony came to us with the idea of
Tony Iommi, that is.
Sorry.
Legendary Tony Iommi of Black Sabbath.
That's right, legendary Black Country Burmy. Tony came to us with the idea of getting his original rig back together for the final Black Sabbath tour. So that really propelled us into doing a new range of kind of British hand-built products for Tony to use when he went out on tour, which became known as the Black Country Customs. So we built a replica of his 1969 supergroup amplifier, the one that he used to record the first Black Sabbath album, and that went down really well. And as part of that setup, he used a kind of boost pedal at the front end. Because before, we'd never really been into pedal building, and that kind of propelled us into the idea of producing pedals, because we had a lot of success with the pedal that became the TI Boost pedal. And at this year's NAMM show, we're launching a new range of pedals called the Black Country Custom range, and it consists of 3 pedals, the sort of pedals that guitar players need every single day. There's a boost pedal, there's a distortion pedal.
Yes, lift it up. What's it called?
This is the steel part. This is the steel part. So this is the boost pedal.
Okay, cool.
Simon's got the Monolith.
That's the Monolith. That's very Tony Iommi.
Distortion pedal. And then we have the Secret Path, which is...
The Secret Path. Well, you have to talk about the Secret Path.
You have to kind of do the Secret Path.
Yeah, the Secret Path. I mean, if you think about, going back to the amplifier that we were talking about, the LA100BL, it's a very, very straightforward amplifier. Not a lot of gain, not very sophisticated, no reverb. So the pedals are all designed to sit with that style of amplifier. The Secret Path is it's a very beautiful sounding pedal. It's a reverb pedal with a kind of shimmer enhancement.
Oh, nice.
So all the pedals feature the same kind of format. They all have 3 different modes. So on the Secret Path, there is a spring reverb mode, there is a plate reverb mode, and then there is the Secret Path mode itself.
I like how you guys, the knobs on here sort of are like classic guitar knobs.
They're the same knobs as the supergroup amps, but they're just a smaller version. So that's where the inspiration came from. Because we had a kind of plexi plastic front or clear front on the amps and the same controls. So we said, well, let's make it look the same as the amps. Let's make a match. So that's where that came from.
Yeah, it's a nice visual identity to carry through. So really, the pedals are, very versatile. 3 different modes. Certainly for the Secret Path, you have a spring reverb, a plate reverb, and then the Secret Path reverb, which is a very kind of dark, ambient, brooding kind of reverb, it's difficult to explain, but when you hear it, it's fairly mesmerizing, because I think when you play a note on a guitar, a note gives you information about pitch. It doesn't tell you anything about where you are. It's when the note stops that everything happens, and that's where reverb comes in. So reverb gives you a sense of space, of where you are. It's why certain, Brian May calls it hot space. It's the thing that makes a recording different from a recording done in a different studio.
It is always hard to describe pedals. You sort of want to have a wine glass where there's notes
But
it's flaccid yet absurd. That kind of.
Yeah, it's very difficult to explain what things do. But obviously there are plenty of demos out there in internet land. So click on, have a look at them. Again, very, very kind of a pedal of the moment.
Yeah.
It runs in 2 different modes. It runs in standard mode and it runs in enhanced mode. And to access it, you just press and hold the button and the LED flashes. You're then in enhanced mode. In enhanced mode, you add modulation to the spring and modulation to the plate, but then the secret path, you add this kind of ethereal, brooding shimmer sort of sound. Again, super difficult to explain.
That sort of Americana shimmer.
It's kind of an ambient. You start to play differently because it's not what you play; it's what happens next.
I think that's the point of pedals that we're trying to get across, is that what we see, and you walk around the NAMM show and you see that there are so many products to choose from, and it's saying, well, how do you fit into the space? But what's great these days is there are so many products, but guitar players out there right now want to choose, they want to combine, they want to switch things out, and we want to be part of that world. It's no longer a case of having one guitar and one amp. It's this creative palette that you can work on, and that's what we're trying to nurture, and this is why we want to be in the pedal business. So yeah, here we are.
Pedals are just colours. If you're an artist, you wouldn't necessarily limit yourself to painting in black and white. So the same as a guitar player. As a guitar player, you have a guitar, you have an amp, but you want lots of colours.
Well, tell me a little bit about the Monolith. I see not only do you have the 4 pedals, but you've got like a little...
You have, yeah. So basically, I said they all follow the same kind of form factor, so they have 3 different modes. So I'm a bit of a pedal geek, and I collect various pedals from different ages, different manufacturers. So the 3 different options. Option 1, D1, is basically based on a 1983 version of an orange box. So it's a tiny pedal and it's orange coloured, and I'm sure everyone knows what that pedal is. And that's a very kind of compressed, very smooth sounding distortion pedal. Option 2, which is the bottom, is a bit more of a modern, aggressive sounding distortion. There's a purple metallic box there out on the market. It sounds, it's the similar sort of style to that. And then in the centre position, it's far more of a classic kind of overdrive, kind of the snot green box of the industry. And all of those obviously give you lots of different colour options, lots of different tonal options.
Do you have demos up online where people can
absolutely
check it out? Where would they go to hear these pedals?
Laney YouTube channel, they're right there, or on laney.co.uk, they're right there as well. The new website went online today, and all the product is up there right now.
Well, it seems like you guys are having a lot of fun coming up with these the way that you're talking about it.
That's what it's all about. We make a lot of products for a lot of different categories, but what we enjoy about this project is it's fun. We talk to a lot of guitar players and listen to their opinions and say that this is a creative process. It's not a corporate world that we want to be in. We want to be in a creative world. And that's what this is all about.
And pedals are great for guitar players that just want to experiment with different ideas, because it won't completely bust the bank to do it.
Exactly, exactly. Because we love everybody to go and buy a new LA100 Supermod head made in the UK. But that's going to set them back a few $1,000s. But we want them to experience what we're doing at Black Country Customs for, a lot less than that, like 5% of that.
Do you see this as, is this going to be an ongoing...
Absolutely, absolutely. And we've already got quite a lot of product ideas that we're chewing around and thinking about and talking to people about. So we want this to be a journey, not just one stop,
So have you guys had a chance to look around the floor? Have you done any reconnaissance? Have you been sneaking around other places to see what pedals?
And I think it's not necessarily a case of just looking at other people's stuff. I think what we like to do is talk to the musicians that we know and interact with and say, well, where does this sit in your signal path? What are you doing? What are you changing out? Where does it go? How does it work? What have you not got that you want to get? So it's solving a problem rather than trying to copy somebody else. That's where we start with this process normally, because that's the fun part of the job.
It's coming up with something that you think is unique and something that's impressive to you, and then obviously making that available.
So besides the pedals, of course, you guys are world famous Amplifier company. Do you have any new things in the amp world that are coming our way?
Yeah, the super modified version of the LA100 is something that we've kind of just snuck onto the booth today and haven't really said much about. But basically what that is, it's the LA100 supergroup amplifier that Tony played Paranoid on, inspired in that direction taken back to the UK, recreated, which we did in 2017 for our 50th anniversary. But then we've made it a master volume mod, so that it's an amazing amp, but these days, and the volumes that people can play at to get the best out of the amplifier, a master volume mod is a great, great step forward in making that product universally functional, as opposed to only really usable in a stadium or very controlled studio environment.
Yeah.
So a lot more people can get more out of that product now. So that's been fun. That's been a lot of fun.
It's great. Well, I'd like to thank you guys for
Pleasure.
for coming in. It was like super interesting to hear about this new endeavor, and we're going to be back throughout the day doing more live streams. So you guys stay tuned in. Thanks.
Take care.
Thank you.